The people who are building AI, these AI infrastructures and these systems are also struggling to make money and monetize this technology. I was like, we're all cooked. And worst of them all is the rate at which building workflows, custom bots, custom everything is getting commoditized. You know, all those YouTube videos that go viral for building end-to-end workflows and this and that? Well, the million views that those videos get are not just from the United States, from Europe. It's also coming from all over the world in third world countries. And you're competing with Kelvin. Kelvin, who might be somewhere in Africa, his cost of living, his cost of gas is not the same as yours. So he can afford to sell the thing you thought you were going to sell for thousands of dollars for less than an Uber Eats order. And this should scare you. If you're in business, this is the number one thing around making money. You only ever make money when you have what? The ability to charge premium prices. When supply is bigger than demand, this is what happens. You get commoditized. It's a race to the bottom. Now, so how are we building these $50, $100,000 a month AI firms in, months? How are we able to charge for the same thing that Kelvin Oyetola, hopefully they're on this workshop, how are we able to go to these businesses and charge this much money, which is 1,000 times more money? How does that even make sense? It's the same work. This lesson has actually nothing to do with AI, but it's the thing that actually matters the most. Understanding what I'm about to walk you through makes it unreasonable for you not to print millions, because it is not a strategy or a trend. It is a principle rooted in what? In laws of physics. Can we learn a little bit about physics and how it can make us money? The best way for me to show you guys how wealth is built is by teaching you about physics and about what? The difference in momentum in different vehicles. You only get rich based on what? On the throughput that you can what? That you can sustain. All businesses are not created equal. Some of them allow little to no throughput. Others are gushers. They just allow you to just print and just take in so much and then push out so much. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to have what? To score your business based on momentum. You can even think about it as having a job. You can only work so many hours at one job. That means that the amount of throughput you can handle, not that great. Hence why you probably only get paid a certain salary per hour, because the value that you can bring as a one person is not that great. Let me show you guys the real impact in real businesses, starting by Hormozy. Hormozy, before he went on to print hundreds of millions of dollars, as you guys know, was running gyms, was fit, biceps were, biceping. But look at this, and he was still a bright founder. But the issue is, when you're running gym, you're serving who? Consumers. And the worst of it all is that you're serving consumers in a 25-mile radius. Keep that in mind. We're going to come back to it. The other thing you're doing is you're selling commodities, workouts. Working out is not that premium. It's not like buying a Porsche. It's not like it's like there is a lot of gyms and working out is free, right? But what he had figured out, which allowed him to not be dealing with this pain as much, is that he figured out a way to build these $100 million offers and charge a lot of money up front. He would bundle a bunch of deliverables and sell, instead of selling you a $50 a month subscription or $100 a month subscription, he would get future cash flow closed today by giving you more value, which was amazing. But the other issue is when you're running gyms is that you're capped by location size. How many square feet do you have in your location? But even worse, it's capped by the time you use to train clients. If you only work 10 hours a day, that means you can only train 10 hours worth of sessions. Or if you have people that you hire, well, their time is also the bottleneck. The good thing that was going for him is that he had ads. He had a leverage way to do what? To acquire clients. But there wasn't any big trend going on. Do you know the outcome of being in such a business model? Hormozy, that, the same guy that we all learn from every single day, is now dropping bangers on Hormozy highlights. At 23, left his consulting. At 24, built these 5 gym locations. At 26, closed all of them. And at 26, tried to launch a done-for-you agency where he would fly to gyms and scale them. Even that failed. If Hormozy, probably way more disciplined, way more relentless than we are, fails at businesses like this one, what does that tell you about business? It's not a game about who's smart, who's a relentless, who's the hardest worker. The game is about what? Is about this. After losing everything from 26 to 27, in the following 6 months, he made 3 million in profit. The following 12 months, he made $17 million in profit. Anybody here want to tell me how this is possible? How the same person who just spent 4 years, 3 years building these gyms, launching a done-for-you agency to show up in person and sell gym memberships, how can he lose everything and then go on to making this kind of money in 12 months? By the way, to make a 17 million profit, you need to almost be $100 million a year company. The fact that he did this is almost like a miracle. First things that he did, started selling to gyms, started selling to businesses. Stop serving who? Consumers. Why is this important? When you're selling to businesses, by the way, these businesses don't have to be rich. These gyms were not rich whatsoever. They were on average making 30K a year profit, okay? The reason why selling to businesses is a bit more sophisticated is because they have sophisticated problems. It's not as simple as just eat 100 calories a day and then work out once a day. No, 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 no. They have really weird problems. And the problem can also be the person running the business. So you never know what the bottleneck is, or bottlenecks can be tremendous. There's a lot of them. What this allowed Hormozi to do is it allowed him to take what? The playbook on how he built the 5 gym locations and go to these gyms that were struggling and say, hey, for $16,000, I can solve every problem you have for good. If you're a gym doing 30K a year profit, you would pay everything to stop struggling. Why? Because you're so invested into being a gym owner that your dreams are worth everything. So 16 grand, even if they didn't have this money, it didn't matter. That's lesson number 2. Go after people who are committed to their dreams, sell them a sophisticated solution for a premium price. The next thing, deliver it without any constraints. He was selling advice, he was selling systems, he was selling ads, which is what? Leveraged AF. Next thing, client acquisition. He was using ads to get clients, okay? And the thing that was going on back then is that Facebook ads had just launched, so not every gym owner had been pitched lead gen and paid ads, all that good stuff. So there was actually a trend around people not knowing how to leverage ads and willing to pay people to figure out the ads playbook. The outcome, 3 million in profit, $17 million in the next 12 months.